Welcome back. Sharon Rodden is here today. She is with GRF, and she chairs the M&C Committee, which is a very large committee, isn't it? Large not in the amount of people that participate, but what it encompasses, right?
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah,
very true.
There's a lot. It kind of oversees a little bit of everything, I'd say.
Well, I think we do. I think that is quite true.
And your agenda, your meeting was yesterday, and I'm looking at your agenda here. And this has been a topic ongoing for a while, and it's Gate 5, and it's being looked at as what to do, remodeling, what do you want to do there. We've seen other gates that have been totally redone.
Yes.
Gate 1 and Gate 7, right? Gate 5, how are you looking at that?
Well, we looked at Gate 1 and Gate 7 as a learning experience. Gate 1 cost $1 million to do, and Gate 7 cost $750,000. When we looked at Gate 5, yes, we realized it like all of us, as we start to age, we could use a little work, right? And so Gate 5 is no exception. It needs some work. Now, the question is it going to cost more or the same amount to do a remodel or reconstruction on that building as it would to do another type of construction? So we're weighing our alternatives right now, and what we did last week is a large number of our board members took a tour out to a factory facility that does factory construction on commercial buildings. They do high-rise buildings, and they're constructed with steel and can have even a 3¼ inch concrete subfloor poured and with between the trusses and the joists.
They're kind of like a modular.
That is,
it
is like a modular.
And we don't want people to think that
it's
mobile
not a house
home type
trailer.
thing.
No, not even in the least. But it's looking at a way that we can basically standardize on the footprint, on the blueprint for our for our gatehouses, and then actually deliver them at a very cost-effective value. So that's one alternative. But we're wide open. We're still looking and weighing. We have a 3-member ad hoc study group right now, and then of course all of the board members who wanted to go went out on the tour, and they are going to be doing a second tour also for those who didn't get to go.
Where's the factories? Is there one near here?
In Paris.
Oh, okay.
In Paris, California. So, in fact, the company that we're working with actually did the Paris Train Museum as well, which is a 7,000 square. I know, is that amazing?
Yes. If you folks love trains, it's a little bit of a trek to go out there.
Yeah.
It is fun.
They did a couple of weekends ago. They did Thomas the Train.
Yeah.
There, they had over 26,000 people in that building that had been constructed.
It is great, and if you like model trains, they have a whole trolley system. It's a fun place.
It really is. It's a great. In fact, they're doing. I think they're doing their Christmas train this weekend.
Yeah.
And but looking, it might have been last weekend. Okay, we're also looking at the HVAC and system here in this building, in the community building, because it's rather inefficient, and to say the least. And we have hot and cold spots, and so we're taking a look at this. And again, we had a subcommittee.
Would you like some water? We can have someone bring some water out.
Thank
so
you.
if somebody's listening, we'll get some out for you.
Thank you. We have, again, a task force taking a look at this and met with an engineer on it. Come to find out, a lot of the work that was on our RFP, their company had actually done in 2012. So we're very, very anxious to have another meeting with them on, again, ways to continue to improve the process here.
Yeah.
We're looking at Aliso Creek. The Aliso Creek project has been an ongoing project since the flood a few years ago, and the walkway that got put in is a massive amount of concrete, and it's not very natural looking, and it's not in keeping with the beauty of the area. So the board has approved funding to take out that large amount of concrete and the walkway that's there and replace it, thank you so much, with a walkway that is exactly like the one that was removed. It's a gentle slope. And then there will also be, you can tell when you go down there, people naturally walk along the creek, so the grass won't grow there because it's beat down from people walking along there. So we're also going to create a very gentle path there along the creek as well too. Then it'll marry into the walkway.
I think that's a great idea.
Real pretty, I think, when we get done. We're also looking at the second portion of the service road that's there too, and seeing if we can't move that trade off some asphalt work for next year into this year and try to take a look at that. We are looking at the guardrails that are also appropriated to be replaced over the bridge. The guardrails on the bridge right now look like hospital beds.
Yeah.
And so that's not really what people wanted also. And we are going to schedule a meeting with the fabricator, since it hasn't been done yet, and see if we can't get something that will still serve that purpose, but have a more aesthetically pleasing appearance.
It sounds like when it's all done, especially walking along the creek, as you said people do, to have a nice little meandering type, whatever it's made out of, gravel or whatever it could be. But
it will be concrete because although we don't need to be ADA in that area, we still have a lot of people who walk along there who are using scooters or walkers or just simply have a bad back and don't want to climb. It hurts.
That'll be nice.
So we're going to be able to create a very nice walkway there that'll be very friendly to people. We're looking at the parking, the gate 3 striping. Gate 3, when you come in the gate, the lanes are marked slow, slow, slow.
Yeah.
And people don't know what to do when they come in. So we're going to mark the lane closest to the gate, guest, the lane in the center, resident, and the lane on the outside, bus. So people, when they come in, are going to know exactly which lane to go into. So
that's a good idea.
Going to help correct the flow a little bit. People come there and go, oh man, now what do I do?
And if you go in the wrong lane, they kind of wave their finger at you, which happened to me.
So we're going to try to give people a little heads up on which way to go. The El Toro perimeter wall has been on our project log for a long time, and it is actually the perimeter wall between Moulton and the church, and it is, what's the issue there? We're actually going to take it off of our project log and push it back. There is effluent pipe that's owned by South County Water, and the wall itself is actually covered with a lot of vegetation, so we're going to just move that off for a while. We don't need to stir that up because we're going to let El Toro Water worry about that when they're ready to replace their pipe. So looking forward to that. The intersection of San Amadeo and Avenida Sosiego, we had a resident comment to us, it's a blind corner. And by merely, so we took a look at it, and by merely moving the stop sign stripe forward 8 feet, and then marking off hash marks around the oncoming curve that's coming the other direction, we're going to be able to eliminate the blind spot there.
That's good.
Yeah, that's, in fact, people, send your cards and letters in to us with ideas on these things. It's really important if, we listen to you and appreciate your input on things. So please, folks.
It's a good point, because whether it's you or whether it's staff, sometimes you see the same things every day, and to you it might look fine, but the people who really utilize that are going, it's just not quite working.
That's exactly right. So let us know. Pickleball and paddle tennis is another issue that we, again, have taken back into a small study group to analyze the best way to accommodate the needs. This club is growing, and we realize they need more courts, and so it's an issue that we're addressing right now in the most space efficient ways.
Do they use the same court, basically the same layout?
Yes, they.
Or is it striped different?
It's striped differently. The pickleball court is smaller than the paddle tennis court, but ostensibly they can stripe it and use the same court. Although in our community, the paddle tennis is less popular than the pickleball. The court is larger, so there's more running, and paddle tennis plays with 4 people, so it's a lot easier. Excuse me just one moment.
Sure.
I'm going to skip over Building D for a moment and go to the Equestrian Hospitality Center. The Equestrian Hospitality Center had been pulled out a few years ago and turned into a horse stall. And the people who utilized that facility were quite distressed that had happened, and so we are actually reinstating that stall back into the hospitality room so that people can ride and come back and talk to people who have similar interests before and after, and have a coffee and just enjoy hanging out at the stable. So that project is underway.
And will that, there's been a lot of talk about back and forth, is that going to have like a concrete floor, or okay, so it'll look like a regular room then, not
Yeah,
just like a stall that's
no, it's not going to be a stall.
Okay.
Redecorated. It will have a concrete floor. It'll have a
Okay.
ceiling fan. Have a nice window and door in it.
Oh, great.
You know, have nice furniture so people are comfortable sitting there. It's going to be really cute. And the best thing of all is that the original bids came in at $30,000, and our contractor is actually doing a fixed price project for us at $12,900.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, we're stoked.
Yeah.
Absolutely stoked on that. We are also looking at two aspects of our process flow. One is we're creating a project log that's going to keep a running total of when the project started, how much money was appropriated, how much it's been spent year to date, not only in the year that we're in, but the entire period of time that the project has been running. We don't have that data at our fingertips right now. And as you know, boards turn over frequently, so it's very important that we are able to keep our finger not only on the status of the project, but also the cost of the project.
So that way
as it's
someone
running
can,
along.
a board member can open it up, go to that project, take a quick look,
Right.
and see here we are on this date where we're at this project, and
In fact, one of the things that we're actually looking at is on each project to have them in alphabetical order and have a Gantt chart at the timeline at the top of it, so we know exactly how it's progressing along and where, and then a column that also discusses the status of
Very
that.
good.
So I think that's going to be a big benefit to our committee and to our board and our committees across the
definitely.
board to understand where we are on things. Building D and Building E are the two buildings that are over off of Campo Verde. And Building E actually houses our security people, and a few landscape people are in that building. That building is actually shifting. And the corners of the building are about 1.5 inches lower than the center. So
not good.
So no. So again, we're taking a look also at replacing that building in an alternative form of construction, or also in the alternative better space utilization of our personnel.
Okay.
And one of the thoughts that we're looking at is in Building D, which is the warehouse building. There may be they have requested that we create a covered area in the back of the building where they can park their outdoor equipment behind the building. If so, there may be a way that we can free up some interior space in there to put some of the landscape people in there. So again, we're in discussion and consideration on that project, and I'll just get back to you as it plays out and what we're doing. So
All
it
right.
looks like we're out of time.
Yeah. Well, I think you hit everything here.
Did I do okay?
Yeah, you did. You went
Good.
right down the list.
All right, fantastic.
All right.
That's good.
And we want to mention your next regular meeting of this committee is the 19th of January. And of course, like we do, we always give you the time and the location of those.
Please, people, if you get a chance, come to our meeting. It's fun, and you're going to learn a lot, and we really, really appreciate input from members on things that are important to you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
Thank you. To
And
you
a
too.
New Year, because we won't see you probably till after the New Year.
I'm hoping so.
All right. Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank
We'll be
you.
back.